I think of others over self, I mean, I think about myself, and then I think of Jesus. And Jesus, even before he died, he prayed for us. I mean, he didn't pray about himself. He didn't pray that the pain would be less, or he didn't pray about just how painful it would be. He didn't worry about that. But what he was praying for was for us to unite as one. And I think about that, and it's just a perfect example of others over self. And you know, the way I look at it is, I need to put on these Jesus goggles, and I start to look at other people differently, as if Jesus loved them. You know, as soon as my small group members started walking in, you know, my attitude for Jajan was, I didn't want to be here, but God gave me his heart. I put on these Jesus goggles, and I started to love them one by one. And then I realized that it wasn't me that was loving them, but it was God loving them through me. And it was just an amazing feeling. And once you put those goggles on, you'll start to see you'll start to see the world in a different light. And it'll affect the people that get affected by you, and it'll affect more and more, and it's just a domino effect. And yeah, Jesus is just a perfect example of that. So
when I think about others over self, the first thing that comes to mind is just how Jesus died on the cross for us, how he gave his life selflessly, obediently to his Father to glorify his Father and to save us. I always think that God could have glorified himself as much as he wanted. He could have made the oceans roar. He could have made stars in the sky. He could have made galaxies explode, but God chose to let his son die for us. And I think that was just the perfect example of others over self. I think about over and over again about Jesus' parables, where just if somebody asks you to go maybe a mile, you go with it for 2. So if you guys are trying to live others over self, just like if you have friends, it doesn't matter if they go to church, it doesn't matter if they're your family or not, it doesn't matter if you're school friends, or even just people you see on the street, just help them out. If somebody needs a ride, give them a ride. If someone needs some money for food, give them some food. Live up to that title of light of the world. Be that light of the world.
I think probably one of the most practical ways would be just to look for opportunities to serve others. Whether it's at church or a rescue mission, or even a short-term mission trip, any way that they can be around other people to fulfill whatever need. Because I believe doing is the best way for teaching. So yeah, I would say just look for opportunities to serve, especially within the church. Really any capacity, even at school, because while serving, you have it's a humbling experience to do any kind of service for someone else, and then on top of that, it gives you an opportunity to see what service does, the fruits of the labor as well, in a very practical sense. So whether you're serving someone, a homeless person at a soup kitchen, or you're helping, pass out food or build something on a short-term mission trip, or whether it's just helping your local church out by doing dishes, or raking the leaves, or anything like that. It's just, you can see what serving others does right then and there at that moment in time. So.
I think a lot of the problem lies with what this society teaches us in terms of how we need to be above others, and how we don't want to be that rotten egg. Last one there's a rotten egg. But I believe through this retreat, and as we go back home, most important thing we can do is to read the Word and to pray, so that we can be empowered, so we can counter what the culture and what the society teaches us, So as we see how Jesus lives his life, as we read about how Christ has lived his life on earth, we can be empowered, and he will empower us so that others can be above us, above self. So I believe that's one of the most important things we can do, and we should apply in our lives as we go back home, is to read the Word and pray, and to really see, how our Savior lived his life here on earth.
Yeah, I think what we want to do is we want to remember why we serve other people, and so I would say always remember Christ and what he's done for you first and foremost. And from there, when you serve other people, always remember what he's done for you first, so that what you're doing is really an outflow of what Christ has done for you. And as you do that, I think you guys might still be nervous, and so at that point ask God for courage, and after that just go out and do it. I wasn't a Christian when I was your age, but if I were, schools would have been the perfect opportunity to tell people about Christ, because you guys are rubbing shoulders with hundreds, if not thousands of people every day. And so, remember Christ, what he's done for you. Let your serving others be from the outflow of your heart that's been changed. Ask God for wisdom and for courage. And just go out and do it. Get creative, look for different ways to serve other people. And I trust that God will work in and through you in that way.